Hi guys, and welcome to the Rachel Kerr Show, the one chat show online that allows you to get to the heart of whatever is on your heart. My name's Rachel Kerr, award-winning singer-songwriter and your host for today. Now, the fact that you're here just shows that you are ready to get into some good conversation, and I can't even lie, I'm right there with you. Now, this platform is all about us sharing our truth and getting to the heart of the issues on our heart. Explicit? Sometimes. Controversial? Oh yes. But let it be known, we always keep it real.
No one can love you like I do. No matter what, I'll always be around. No one can love you like I do. No matter what, I'll always be around. Don't cry.
So on this unique chat show, we keep it real and we talk about whatever is on your heart. Topics have traditionally ranged around sex, relationships, money, business, faith, whatever it is, we're going to discuss it. Why? Well, I believe that some of the most amazing people are never given a microphone and never given a platform. Well, today that changes. You are able to share your wisdom and your voice on this platform to allow the rest of us to get to wisdom and knowledge with our everyday, day-to-day issues. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, I want you to be a part of this discussion. The comment section is there. Make use of it. What do you think about the issues discussed? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you have a different perspective? Whatever it is, this is your microphone. This is your platform. Be real and share your truth. Be sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And again, share this video. Let's share wisdom, share truth, share understanding, but most importantly, keep the conversations going. I don't know about you, but I'm excited. So let's get to the heart of the issue and open up the panelists who are joining us to see how we can together have the real talk. Okay, let's get right into it. I'm slightly shook. Okay, question is, how do you advise when you have a partner who's not really a believer of Christ because of past experiences, but you are very much so? This is a very good question, a very good one. How do you handle this? I mean, anybody been in a situation where they have been with somebody who wasn't a believer or was... Actually, let me break this down. I'm very much aware that there are some people watching this and on this platform who may have a faith. There may be Christians, there may be Muslims, there may be Buddhists, whatever, or they may not have a faith, they may be atheists. But whatever their spiritual practice is, they may find themselves in a relationship with somebody who does not share that. And whatever your faith is, it can be a very difficult situation when you take your faith very, very seriously. In actual fact, you see it as the foundation of your life, your principles and everything you are. But the person you want to share that life with doesn't actually share these beliefs with you. What do you do with that? I actually want to throw this in as well with this question. If the person is not a Christian, I'm guessing they're not because of past hurts. So it could be past church hurts, past ministerial hurts, whatever it is. Somebody's been hurt by the faith in the past, and as a result of that, does not want anything to do with it. But of course, it's difficult for the person who's in a relationship with them. This is deep. Anybody have any wisdom to share on this? This one's a deep one. Jackie, come all the way through.
Had not had experience of this.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say by your actions, by your deeds, by showing and by communicating how Christ, or I'm saying Christ, is working. Christ. Just, I think it's one of those where you just you be you, but don't force the situation either.
Right.
It would help if you knew kind of why, because if they have been a believer or that there was a grounding in that faith somewhere.
Yeah.
It's just that seed needs to be nurtured again, and it's how you go about that nurturing.
Right.
And you have to be patient to their needs,
as
well as remaining on your path.
Absolutely. And I think that's pretty much it. If you're in a situation where you're with somebody who refuses to go to church, what you've said, Jackie, is so important and amazing, because you need to be the example of what Christ-likeness is, or whatever you believe you want him to see in the faith. You need to be that example. Now, Rome wasn't built on a day. Nothing happens just as it happens. These things do take time. But I do think whatever the past hurt was or is, any hurt that's there can only be erased by love. It can only be erased by you seen enough examples to know the power of that hurt no longer needs to be there. So if somebody slapped you in the face, let's say, quite graphic, but let's go there. It's only after a while when you realize that you meet people aren't going to instinctively slap you, that you realize that feeling of being slapped, that fear of being slapped, you can let it go. It no longer needs to have the power it once had over you. Again, if you're not a Christian and you're watching, you could be a Muslim, a Buddhist, or whatever it is that you practice, and your partner's in the same thing, in the same vein. Again, it's about reaffirming their feeling of being comfortable around things that remind them of the faith, reminding them that they're not being attacked by what you believe in. The more they feel comfortable around it, the more they'll be able to embrace it. And even if they don't embrace it, they'll be able to embrace you being a part of it. The more they're around people who are cool, relevant, loving, real, surround them with people who are a great example of whatever the faith is that you have. Give them that example, because sometimes it could be a case of, yeah, my partner's great, but all the rest of these Christians are mad. I know I've been there. Let me be real. When all the people who call themselves Christians or whatever, I love your Christ, but I'm not too sure about your Christians. But the more examples I saw of people who were Christians but don't bear that negative stigma, the more you see that, the more you realize that actually this church thing, let me see a bit more about it. Or if the person sees the joy in you, actually this joy she's got, let me see a bit more about it. You know what I mean? So it's just about making sure that you are the example that you want them to see on a day-to-day basis, and keep it in prayer. You can sow the seed, you can water it, but only God can do the growing. So make sure that you are, in the midst of you being that example, you're asking God for the grace to continue being that example, because not everyone's going to be happy 24/7. That's long. But asking God for the grace to be a good example, so that as you're sowing that seed, as you're watering it, let God do the growing and give it time. Anybody else want to add anything to that before we move it on?
I just had a quick note to mention, similar to Jackie, I've never been in a similar position, but a friend of mine that has, like you said, Rachel, it's about prayer and consistent prayer, and this sort of bringing that up to Christ and making sure that you're backing your actions with God. Yeah. But also understanding that, even though they might not step foot in a church building, there are aspects of church that they can still connect with. So if you value prayer, for example, they might be open to praying with you. If they enjoy worship, in your church, or poetic, I can't remember, PIA, I can't remember what they're called. But, they're PIA are in town, and they're doing spoken word around, and it's grounded in Christ. Being in a different environment or in a situation that allows your partner to still connect with Christ without the, churchy Christianese all around, being around, giving the opportunities like that. You can take aspects of church out of the building and still have church. So just to encourage you to kind of figure out maybe what those things are. And like it's already been said, part of that is leading by example. So if they're seeing you doing it, it's likely that they'll be able to follow along.
Absolutely. What was your name, sis?
Rhoda.
I was thinking, I don't know this face, but sis, you're welcome. And what beautiful wisdom. Thank you so much for that. Absolutely a beautiful contribution. It's so true. And funny enough, that's one of the inspirations for this platform. Sometimes you can have the essence of spirituality without the stigma and the stereotype of it. It doesn't have to be within the four walls of church. One thing I've always said with my ministry as a singer, as a person, it's not church as usual. It's not gospel as usual. In actual fact, if that offends you, I'm so sorry, but that's how it's going to be. Why? Because there's more than one way to skin a cat. There's more than one way to spread a good message. And as you said, there's ways to have church without having church. So finding a way to transmit the same good news without the stigma is something that in this day and age, we need to make our priority, in actual fact. So that's amazing. Rosa, thank you so much. Anybody else want to add some wisdom to that?
Yeah, I think with us all being in quarantine, like church is not the building, is it? It's us as a people.
That's right.
And this is the time to really experiment, and you'll make mistakes. It might not even go off well. You might even be in a household where you're with the person, you just go, come on, come on. But it's like there's an opportunity that we have. Obviously, the time that we're in, it's hard and it's tough right now. But with whatever faith you're in, I'm a Christian. So with the faith that I'm in, if my partner wasn't a Christian or had past hurts, and I know those past hurts can run deep. Having this time to explore those things and learning to understand before being understood.
Come on then.
Because we would really want to, we really want them to know, we really want them to come in We really want them to come over to this side, come and join. And it doesn't always happen like that.
Yeah.
But like as Jackie said, I believe, and then was it right?
Older. Yeah, then Jackie and older.
Yeah, loving them in, and just having patience and time. You know, it's so important.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Sinead. That is literally it. Love. And it sounds so cliche because you know me, I'm not a fan of cliches. Love is the answer. But when you look around, no, seriously, sis, love is the answer, okay? So absolutely necessary. And thank you so much for spreading that.
What I wanted to say was that for the girl that asked this question, I think obviously prayer is very important. But I think also praying specifically for your partner's healing, because God can heal him from his past hurt. And unless he has that healing, he won't be able to receive the love that you're showing him or accept the deeds or anything, because he's still holding on to that pain and that hurt. So that prayer specifically for healing will shift that whole issue or that whole stronghold, do you know what I mean? And it will allow him to actually open himself up to receive whatever love and whatever peace or whatever, joy or whatever you want to show.
Absolutely. Love that. Thank you, Florence. I mean, literally, that is it. Just making sure that the person, again, has the space to know that, there is healing, and you facilitating that through prayer. Let's think about the question again. If you are in a situation where you're a Christian, a Muslim, whatever faith you have, and you have a partner who does not share that, how do you deal with that? How do you navigate it? What we've said thus far is be an example of love. Make sure that if hurt is something that is affiliated with church, trying to find a way that translates the message of the church without it being in a churchy, stereotypical, stigmatized environment, so that they still get the fruit without getting the thorns. And also, as Florence just said here, making sure that you're praying that healing comes to them, because there is a power of prayer. Whatever your faith or religion is, there are many people who don't have a faith, but they do believe in meditation. And I believe meditation, whether it's through whatever practice you choose, it's still a means of prayer. It's still something it's still allowing you to communicate with something that's greater than yourself. So again, pray for that healing. And one more thing I want to say before we move on. I would also say, please allow your partner the right to express their hurt and their frustration. Because I can only use myself as an example. There was a situation I went through quite a few years ago where I had experienced church hurt to the 10th degree, okay? And thank God for healing. But at the time, the wound was really, really raw. And what didn't facilitate my healing was when I spoke to somebody about it and they'd be like, Rachel, just love, just move on. Love, God will heal. It's well, it is well. It very much is not well because I'm still vexed, okay? So I'm going to need you to allow me to express my vexation and support me through that. Is that all right? And then allow me through time to allow the healing to take place. But sometimes it can be frustrating when you're trying to express why you're hurt and the person brushes it off with Christianese. I think it's very important for you to allow the person to express whatever their hurts were, whatever their insecurities were, whatever their offense was at church. Allow that to come out. Let them be real first. And then give them love. Then give them the word. Then give them words of wisdom. But sometimes when we try to harbor or hide the hurt that we feel, it only just grows. It is called the real talk. We have to sometimes keep it real. And then by keeping it real, then only then when we expunge ourselves of the hurt and whatever offense we had, can we accept real words of wisdom that can help us to grow. So allow them to be expressive of whatever hurt them and love them through that. Don't give them Christianese too quickly. Hear them first, empathize, sympathize, and then come with words of wisdom, words of the Bible, words of whatever can help them through that place of hurt to a point of acceptance and hopefully, in this case, a shared belief. So already we've just started and some great topics have already been covered. And guys, as I said, we're just getting started. But the conversation continues. You will see a notification bell. You see the subscribe button. You see the comments. Again, make use of all these tools. Make sure you're continuing the conversation in the comment section. Have you been in these situations? Can you relate? Do you have any words of wisdom that you want to share? Guys, join in the conversation. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you're kept up to date when we have new topics that we discuss as a family on the Rachel Kerr Show, giving each other some real discussion and real talk. So again, guys, make sure you keep those comments coming. I'd love to see what you have to say on this topic. And again, it'd be great to conversate with you as well. If you do want to join the live discussion, again, the information is there on my website where you can actually log in and be part of this discussion and have your voice heard too. Okay, brethren, let's get to a little musical performance by yours truly. Enjoy and see you on the next episode of The Rachel Kerr Show.
In my life I've had my smiles and sighs, lessons learned, and in my life I've said a few goodbyes to get things started. But when the tests got harder and when the friends departed, hey, you were there for me, yeah. Daddy, you set me free, yeah. So when you love me out, and when you hug me out, when it gets harder, long as you. So when you love me out, and when you hug me out, when it gets harder, they keep me telling me nothing. I'm as strong as an lion. Love to make some noise. I'm an eagle, I'm flying. I can climb any mountain. Baby, I'm cool, I'm surviving because of your love. Let me see you guys rock with me, come on. We're just getting started. Who's just getting started in the house tonight? In my life I've learned that I can't please all those around me. And in my life I've learned my peace of mind is what makes me happy. And yes, you do that for me. So when my skies are cloudy, hey, well, you're there for me, yeah. Daddy, you set me free, yeah. So when you let me out, oh, when you hug me out, when it gets harder, long as you, and when you love me out, when you hug me out, when it gets harder, they keep me telling me nothing. I'm as strong as a lion. I'm an eagle, I'm flying. Do we have any eagles in the house tonight? I can climb any mountain. Baby, I'm cool, I'm